Listen up.
It's after lunch, the dreaded. But Deborah's not going to let us get that way.
Nope.
No,
Okay. So we are in for a real treat with our fellow composers. She'll tell you all about her program and herself. I'm going to let her tell you about her background, although I sent you her bio. But as a quick aside, because I thought of this, I want to tell you now, if you don't mind, if this doesn't sound too controlling, you were very nice and kind every year to send messages to the ECL, and should they get printed this year about our event, what perhaps will happen is that corporate will have to field questions about why everyone wasn't invited, because we never did put an invitation on the ECL. And so to avoid controversy and confusion, if you'd like to send us some feedback, put it on the Nashville group, and just, even though we would appreciate anything you might say that would get past the moderator. And I don't mean that ugly, I just mean just in case it would. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just to bring that to your attention, and we appreciate that. That way, they won't call me and say, look what happened. So, but we're smiling, we're good. Thank you very much.
Basically, you limited it and you told them that.
They know, but see, we've already had an issue about it, and everybody's been nice about it, but there was misunderstanding and confusion about why some people were not invited, why the ECL, why the whole community was not invited.
The room isn't big enough.
Right. Well, that's exactly what we told them, and so
We all signed up for this last year anyway.
that's right.
We were sold out in 5 minutes.
We appreciate it. Just we really do covet your feedback though, and we're not after the good and the bad. Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Deborah. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a treat to be here, and it's wonderful. I'm telling Lynn and Robin, who we connected 3 years ago.
Do we have a microphone? Because I know she's kind of losing her voice.
Well, you know what?
You think you're okay?
It's small.
Okay.
It'll be okay. You guys are all going to be up here in a moment anyways with me. But Robin and I connected a few years ago when she contacted me, and we've been in correspondence for about 3 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? And then I connected with Lynn, and then we had, where's Susan? Yeah, there we go. See, we're in your blue, I'm thinking blue. And connected with Charlotte at the ORF conference. So it's been, neat getting to know a few of you, and then being invited here is a real treat. Basically, for those of you that aren't familiar with my program, what I've done is created a program that makes classical music fun and child-centered and sort of demystifies the classics. Takes it from that elusive, sophisticated realm to one that is just fun and simple, easy to use, and one that you can take and hopefully supplement and enrich your program with as we do, familiar classics that I know that some of the pieces are also in Simply Music. Sometimes you have groups of children that get together for special events, enrichments, classes, or whatever. And these are pieces that you'll be able to use with any age group. You could have a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old in one class and put it all together, and both are having fun. I do this with adults all around North America. I go and workshop teachers all the time, and it doesn't matter how old you are. These classics are they're timeless, right? It's music from Mozart, Strauss, that is 26 lines deep in texture. I've heard the pieces I've used 1,000,000 times, and I promise you that when I listen to them, I still hear something new every single time. So what I've done is created a program that sort of appeals to your kinesthetic, your auditory, and your visual learners. It's a very holistic way of learning. It combines storytelling, creative movement, song, drama, instrumental play, all together. And every child feels positive. Every child gets excited and develops an appreciation for classical music. And the whole idea is sort of to ignite that spark. And you can take this approach and you can use it anywhere. It's an ORF-based approach. I'm ORF trained. I have my training in Memphis, Tennessee. I have my master's in ORF through Yost Wojtek. My background is I taught piano for over 10 years while I was teaching in the elementary public school system. I'm still teaching in the elementary public school system because my 3 children go to my school. So I love it doing that. I couldn't keep up with everything, so my piano teaching had to stop as I had my children. And now I published the Fun with Composer series in 2006. I started creating them 20 years ago, and I've used them in the classroom and workshopped a million teachers, and the teachers kept on saying to me, Deb, instead of us getting all these handouts, could you please put them in a book? So finally, after I had my 3rd child, who was a little bit hormonally imbalanced, I thought, okay, this is the time. My husband wasn't about to argue with me after 3 children. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever you want, honey. And I went to it, and it has honestly become my passion. And I feel very, very fortunate to be able to come out and share with you materials that are really dear to my heart. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to incorporate them in some way into your programs. And if you ever have any questions, I'm very easy to reach through email, not so easy to reach through phone, because I never quite get to the phone because I'm an Irish dancer, Suzuki violin. That's what my children do. I also have been fortunate to work with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. For the last 6 years, I've been designing their teacher-guided activities. So my children, my ORF students, I have an ORF club, which is basically focuses on the xylophones, metallophones, and glockenspiels, the barred instruments, along with rhythm, speech, song, and movement. And I call it my ORF club. And we meet ORF club, so ORF Schulwerk. And ORF, Karl Orff is a German composer. And yeah, you were at the ORF conference. Yeah, so you get ORF trained. And basically, it's once again the holistic way of learning. And my children, my ORF group is actually live on stage with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. And we did 2 of the Fun with Composer pieces up there with over 100,000 students over 6 weeks. Wow. So it was really, it was quite, and I have to say I was 7 months pregnant at the time. It was quite the experience, but all wonderful. So I feel very, very fortunate. Anyways, we're not going to be sitting for long. We are going to be up and moving in a minute. I'm starting you off with a piece that is really simple. Now, all of these pieces that you're going to do today are ones that I do have handouts, which I will give you, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down, and they're recording it as well. You just get to have fun. And one of the pieces I'm going to start with is an interesting one because I've done it with my 3-year-olds in preschools throughout Vancouver, and I've done it with my grade 6s. And it doesn't, and I've done it with adults, it doesn't really seem to make any difference, which will prove the point that it's so easy to adapt. So, you have to use a little bit of your imagination now, as I'm going to introduce you to Chef Figaro. Now, Chef Figaro, I have this wonderful little Chef Figaro puppet. Yes, which remind me, it comes from Timeless Treasures, I believe. And great little prop. He lives high up on the mountains, and he lives in a place where he has a restaurant high up, and down below is a village of people. And in his little restaurant, every morning, Chef Figaro decides that he has to make something special, and his specialty is magic soup. Now you're thinking, what does magic soup do? Well, magic soup makes you very strong, very fast, and makes you grow very tall. So you'll probably all be interested in having some. Well, the first thing you need to do to make magic soup is, of course, maybe I'll just put the chef here so he can watch to make sure I'm doing it okay, is to get out your chef hat. So I'm going to get you to put on your chef hat, if you can. Make sure it fits, make sure it's not too big or small. I've even got my own here. Please remind me after we make soup to take off my chef hat. I often forget. And of course you can put on your apron. Can you please put on your apron? And then once you have your apron on and your chef hat, can you please, and this is a little tricky, but get your biggest pot that you can get out of your cupboard. And I want you to pick it up on the count of 3. We're going to pick up our soup pots. And I want you to put it right in front of you because from what I understand, Lynn told me that the people that are cleaning up after the conference will get very upset if there are any spices on the floor today. So please make sure we cannot spill. So get out your soup pot on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, lift. Now you need your wooden spoon, so make sure it's close by. Some of you actually have wooden spoons right beside you somewhere. If you happen to have yours, please make sure it's close by because you're going to be using it. Now, to make magic soup, Chef Figaro says that you have to have the best spices. So spices, of course, are flavorings to make our soup delicious. And who can think of a few special spices that come to mind when they are making soup? Susan, do you have any? Fennel. Fennel. Oh, that's a good one. Well, now wait, let's open up our spice cupboards first of all. Are you ready? Look around. Can you spot your fennel? Can you please take it and put it into your soup pot? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Shh. And back. Thank you. What other spice might we add?
Salt.
Oh, definitely salt. Okay, got it? Shh. And
Paprika.
have to have paprika.
Smoked.
Oh, there we go. Ready? Now, one thing I forgot to tell you about was the fact that we have to not only add the spices carefully, we have to add them in with presto fast hands. So if you do not add them in super fast, your soup will not be magic. So, are you ready? Now this is what's going to happen. You get to look at the hundreds of spices in your cupboard. I know exactly which ones you're going to add, and do not feel bad if you add the rainbow spice, or the magic spice, or the chocolate spice, because those are the kids' favorite, as you know. I am going to sing the magic words. You don't have to worry about the magic words, but you do have to worry about having presto fast hands, because if they're not presto, it won't be magic. So get ready on a count of 3. I sing the words, and you add in as many spices as you can to my words. 1, 2, 3. Smell it. Taste it. Oh, see, that's good tasting. What do you think? Does it taste okay or something missing?
Vodka.
Vodka. Okay, you have to add the vodka. Anything else? I like that response. Any other spice?
Oregano.
Oregano. Any others?
Garlic.
Oh yes, thank you. I'm
Oh.
Ukrainian. You need garlic. Okay, I'm singing the magic words again. If you feel so inclined, you can certainly join me if you like. Just don't forget your presto fast hands. 1, 2, 3. Smell it. Taste it. Made all the difference in the world. Well,
It was the vodka.
it was fun. When Chef thinks it has a great taste, he picks up his magic spoon. Can you pick your spoon up? And I need you to stir, not presto fast, but actually with a nice legato, smooth stir. And when he stirs, he often sings. He goes, stir it up, stir it up. Taste. Is it blended? Not bad. Sorry, yeah, I know. Let's do it again. One more time.
Stir it up, stir it up.
Much better. When the chef thinks it's perfect blend, he jumps out of his seat. Jump out of your seats. And he uses his calling hands. Now, my voice isn't so great right now. In a low octave, he sings.
Lynn.
And that's all I can do. Come taste my soup, it is so good, it is
Oh, I
the
will
best.
help you. Here we go.
Thank
Come
you.
taste my soup. It is so good. It is the best.
That's what he does. Now you're going to be my echo because I'm going to go first. And actually, Robin's going to go first. And Robin, you are going to sing, come taste my soup, it is so good. And then stop.
Okay.
Ready, go.
Come taste my soup. It is so good.
Your turn.
Come taste my soup. It is so good.
Now Robin's going to add on something. She's going to say, come taste my soup, it is so good, it is the best. Listen.
Come taste my soup. It is so good. It is the best.
Got it? Here we go.
Come taste my soup. It is so good. It is the best.
And add this on. Got it? Go.
Num
So he went, oh my goodness, what do I do? Thousands of people, one pot of soup, what can we do?
Make some more.
Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Stir it up, stir it up. Here we go.
Come taste my soup, it is so good, it is the best.
Well, so many more people came running. There still wasn't enough soup. There was a problem because he could not make another bowl, another pot just like that. So, just between me and you, all the way from Vancouver, I am sharing with you in Nashville the secret special magic words that turns one bowl of soup into 5,000. Only you will know. They sound like this. Can you do that, please? Perfect. Now watch what happens, because the chef has a pattern. He's going to place a bowl down every time he says the word yum. I want you to count how many yums there are in this musical phrase. Yum, 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 yum. How many bowls of soup were there? Let's do it again. Yum, 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 yum. How many yums? 5. There were 5. And guess what? It wasn't 5, because every time a bowl went down, it turned into 5,000. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,000 bowls of soup. Definitely enough to feed everybody. So, are you ready? You're going to do the extra special magic words that nobody except us knows. And on the word yum, the one bowl goes down. Got it? Here we go. Yum. 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 Perfect. Enough for everybody. And then the chef didn't have very good manners. So I said, don't pick up 1 spoon, but pick up 2. And you have to eat presto fast as you can. And he said, grab your spoons and eat it, and eat it, and eat it up. And then he goes, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, eat. Got it? Okay. Now, believe it or not, there I was with my iPhone, of course, up on Whistler Mountain, visiting the chef, and I recorded his voice. I got it. And I brought it all the way to Nashville, just for you. So you get to make magic soup with real Chef Figaro. Are you ready? So now, before we start, Dale, you have to remember, we started with what type of hands? Presto. We moved to a nice legato stir. And then finally, when the chef got very excited, he jumped up and used his, what kind of voice? Was it piano soft?
Forte.
Forte. It's very forte voice. So are you ready? We've got those 3 things. We've got to remember, we're going to make not 1 batch, but 2 batches, and then use our special magic words. Got it? Chef Figaro's words? Number 1. And I'm sorry, he has very bad manners, that's all I can tell you. I'm telling you nothing. Oh, wait. Can you restart? Sure. Put it forte loud.
Oh, forte loud.
Ooh. It's pretty loud. Down goes Susan.
Stir it up, stir it up. Come taste my soup, it is so good, it is the best. Stir it up, stir it up. Come taste my soup, it is so good, it is the best. Yum, 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 yum. Come and grab a spoon and eat it, and eat it, and eat it, eat it up. Eat it up. It's so good, it's so good, eat.
My apologies. I told him, I said, you know what, I cannot possibly bring this to Nashville with a burp on the end of it. And I tried to do it again, and he continued to burp. So, sorry about that. Couldn't help it. Now, we are going to play a little game. And that is, because you're so smart, I think you can do this. We are going to see if we can, without Chef Figaro's help, just using his favorite piece of music, which happens to be The Marriage of Figaro, go figure, and we are going to see if we can add in instruments to the three main sections. Yes. Please pick me. So, team one is going to be, let's see, this group right here is all team one. Now you guys are going to have to, you're going to see the instruments are sort of laid out there. You're going to be in charge of finding an instrument that you think that you could play presto fast for the num-a-num-a-num music. So anything that you can play quickly that sounds sort of light and fast, right? So just think about it, you can brainstorm. Okay, so you're the presto team on num-a-num. Now you guys, let's say you six, are going to be usually legato. You're going to play something that sounds very long and smooth. Something that you're going to play on the word stir it up, stir it up. So you can take a peek, you can brainstorm for a second, and then you're going to be doing that. You guys are my biggest team because you're my core team. Yes! So I need you to find a part that you can play on this part. Watch. Come take, I keep on changing keys because my voice. Come take my, it is so good, it is the best. I know what I'm getting. You are doing the rhythm of the forte loud part. So I need you, I know, to look over there. Team one, can you go find your presto fast instruments? You better not get it. I'm serious. I'm going to beat you to it anyway. And then instead of going back to your spot, I'm going to get you. Actually, you guys can just stay right there. Team two, can you find your legato instruments? And team three, go for your forte loud instruments. And team one, team two, and team three. Forte loud, presto, and legato. very end. When you are so excited and we are double fisting it, you can absolutely play. Because I know you can't not play. Okay, without Chef Figaro's help, just like the marriage of Figaro, and my Presto team is first. Everybody else is sort of sitting. Squatting. Okay, we are on Dale. Number 2. Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Here it comes.
Stars, stars,
music maps of their own with the squiggles and the dots and the lines, they will start creating. They will start listening to classical music with new ears, because now they've experienced this. They start to think that's what it is, that there is indeed a story that's hidden in every piece. And the trick is to unveil the story. What could it be about? Now, the Marriage of Figaro that you've just heard was only 1 minute long. The real section for this is 4.5 minutes, just for this overture, for the opening. And it repeats. The older children can start creating more storyline to it when they listen to it, and it's amazing what the kids come up with. And that is the purpose. So very simple, very easy. So I'm going to quickly ask you to put your instruments in. Thank you, Robin, for being the conductor of the week. And I'm going to ask you to find a space where you're standing, because we're going to do a little bit of movement. I will take off this. And I'm going to take my hand from us, grabbing it from and a mouse. That one's perfect. There we go, thank you. And I'm just going to get you to move around the room a little bit to my movement cues. And I'm going to get you to figure out what these are. What do you think you could do to this sound? Do you want to? Yes, it's a marches. So I want you to march all over the room. In our space, of course. Oh, you're marching, you're not galloping. No. So when you're marching around the room, I want you to think about your levels, which is high, medium, and low. I want you to think about your direction, which is diagonal, backwards, forwards. What's another direction? Sideways. You get to move any way you like. And that's my super stop signal. So when you hear this, I'm going to get you to freeze. And I want you to think about when you're moving very high level, which could be something like this, even just on your toes. A medium level, which sort of could be about like that. Or if you want, even very low. Now, some different directions are forward. Can you show us, demonstrate a forward movement? Excellent. And we have a backward movement. Thank you. And a sideways movement. Perfect. And you can even go diagonal if you want. Perfect. And when you hear this, you freeze and look at me. So you're thinking about, look at you. You're thinking about levels and direction. And all you know right now is your signal to march. 1, 2, here you go. So many different levels, different directions. Oh, I'm seeing some gorgeous stuff happening. And take a look at me. And can you please freeze like that? For the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you got it. Now we're going to take that into another sound, which I'm going from this to a sound that sounds like this. Now that's definitely very different sounding. What can you do to that sound? So if it's not a march, what else could it be?
A gallop?
No. Good job. No. We're going to do a gallop though, Robin. But it's something, I'll give you a hint. You are so close.
I heard some.
It is almost like a jump, except it is on 1 foot. It is. And I'm not going to make you hop too much because I know what hopping is like after we eat at Ruby Tuesdays. So when you hear the hopping signal, you hop on one leg. When you hear this in between, you can switch feet if you can. If you cannot, that's okay. Are you ready? Here we go. So we got. Perfect. Now, you've got your walk and hop. What happens when we combine the both? Listen. What would that be? Yes, because it's a step. Up, step, up, step, up, step. Now, this is a great thing to do when you go a skip is, as you know, a step, hop, and you alternate feet. And that can be tricky to do, especially if there's some, no offense boys, but some boys that are younger that have real problems doing that, and they end up going like this, and leaping, instead of getting the little hop that's in there. So when you see kids that are doing it right, please, say your name and, oh, look at this beautiful skip. So just for fun, can we do a little skip around? 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, beautiful.
It's fast and long.
Gorgeous. And Terry, would you mind demonstrating your
I
beautiful
can't,
skip?
I got a bad foot and I
Oh.
can't jump.
You no, okay, you cannot do. Would you mind?
Go, Mel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Give her a clap. Thank you. And then we go into a sound that sounds like this. Robin, I think you know what this one is. Listen. What do you think that might be? It's not- Robin, can you please demonstrate the gallop for us?
Wait a minute.
Now, just so you know, you do not alternate feet. It is when one foot is the leader. And that's the trick. And the other one, oh, you can even have the arms. Here she goes. Oh, look at that gorgeous gallop. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to do something tricky. We're going to combine a few of those movements. I'm not going to tell you when I switch. But I am sorry, before I forget, I have to do one more. And it is sounding, no, we can do this. It sounds like this, listen. It's very strong, and I already saw somebody do it. You could do a stomp, but even to make it stronger, you could do that, Robin. But yes, a 2-foot jump. So when you hear that, the kids love jumping forward, backwards. They love doing 360 in the air and landing low, or landing like their favorite sports star. They love doing all that. And that's a big, strong sound. So I'm going to mix it up. When you hear my super stop sound, freeze and look at me, because I've got a fun pose for you. Are you ready? I'm starting easy. I'll start with the ball. March. From the Pacific Ocean, and there were, in fact, you can come really close because I can show you one of the guys that I met recently. You can come over here because we're going to get up in a minute, but you can relax for a moment. I'm just going to talk about one of the pirates that I recently met at White Rock Beach. Now these pirates weren't your regular kind of pirate because they loved to sing and dance to their favorite composer, who happened to be Johann Strauss, not Mozart. Well, one night while I was putting the girls to bed, I was lying next to Charlie, my youngest, and we're lying there in the window, the playroom window was open, and I could hear some music, and I recognized the music, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So as soon as the girls fell asleep, I crept to the bed. I went, got my jacket, got my flip-flops, and started walking towards the music. Well, sure enough, I landed up right on the beach. And there they were, pirates, singing and dancing to the Persian march. They had a bonfire going, and they were singing around the fire. And I sat and I watched, because I was a little bit scared of pirates at first. I thought I better not join them. And I was sitting watching, and sure enough, they saw me. And they signaled for me to join them. So very nervously, I crept towards the bonfire, and It was the story of the Secret Sound. And Secret Sound, the Sneaky Sound. And the Sneaky Sound was one of the only pirate ships still out on the ocean that had a crew that magically grew and grew. All the other crews kept on shrinking, but not that of the Sneaky Sound. Every night, for some strange reason, it got bigger. Well, this is how it all went down. Late at night, pirates of the Sneaky Sound, they would pretend to go to sleep. And when the other pirate boats around all thought that the pirates from the Sneaky Sound were sound asleep, they too then would go to sleep. And as soon as the pirates knew they were sleeping, they'd get up from their beds. They didn't sleep yet. They'd get up from their beds and they would crawl down the little ladders, on the rope ladders on the side of the ships, jump into the rowboats, and row to shore. Then they would start their bonfire, and then the singing, dancing, and partying would begin till early morning. And of course, everybody could hear the singing, dancing to Johann Strauss. And soon everybody from the village would come down, and the pirates tapped on when the sun was about to come up. They would signal for everybody to join their crew. And grandmas and grandpas and aunts and dogs and 4-year-olds and 8-year-olds would all run back home. And if they were young, they had to leave an outdoor, wake up their mom and dad first, by the way. They would run back home, pack their bags, and go out to the ship. And they would row out to the Sneaky Sound ship, and they would join their crew. Now, I got special permission from the pirates to share their music with you. I can even share the dance with you. Would you like to learn the pirate dance? Yes, of course. Now, this pirate dance is not very hard because you know all the secret signals already. I'm going to get you just to listen for a moment. And I'm going to get you to imagine that when you hear this double sound, that you could imagine the pirates in their long boots, or their peg legs, a long peg leg in this case, going like this and doing a brush step when you hear that. Imagine that, okay? Now, when pirates do a brush step, they often like to switch directions and go the other way. So, imagine the pirates. In fact, you can take your pirate finger and you can imagine marching and doing a brush step and turning around. So listen. Are you ready? Listen to the cues. 1, 2, here you go. Oh, you got it. Now, on to that. They would often use their hands. And their hands would sound something like this. Just for now, I'm going to use this. And they would go like this. So using your hands, you don't have to get up yet, we'll do this later. Using your hands, can you show me this? Got it. Okay, so let's start from the pirate walking to the brush step. Walking. And here he does. 1, 2, ready, go. Perfect. And then they end with a pirate one of these. Listen to this. What was that again? It's a pirate step, hop, step, hop. What's a step, hop again? Yeah, skip. It's a skip, a pirate skip, not a girly skip. None of this. There has to be a pirate skip. It sort of looks like a pirate. Okay, so imagine that. In fact, you can do your pirate skip with your finger for a moment. And imagine doing that. And when you hear this, at the very end of that pirate skip, what could you do to that sound again? What's the strongest movement that we just did? Yes! A 2-foot jump. So you get to really do a large thud with your jump. And you have to look around with your pirate eyes. Got it? Okay, so let's take it from the pirate skip. And now when you're doing your pirate skip, can you take your pirate body and skip around so that you end up coming back to the same spot that you started from? Okay, so you can't just skip anywhere. You have to skip in a small little circle and land with the pirate jump right on the same spot that you started. Are you ready? Begin your pirate's finger skip. 1, 2, ready, go. You had it right. Let's do it together. 1, 2, ready, go. It's walk and brush. Walk, walk and brush. Hands, hands, and skip, 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 and jump. You got it. Now I want you to listen carefully. And my echo, because it goes like this. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. I'm going to add on. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew. And we'll dance and sing the whole night through. And we'll dance and sing the whole night through. So when you put it together, can you sing for me? And I'll show you. And watch this. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew. And we'll dance and sing the whole night through. Got it? Are you ready, pirates? So you gotta do a pirate walk. 1, 2, ready, go. Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew, and we'll dance and sing the whole night through. Oh, you got it. Now the next part, follow me, it goes like this, watch. Do a pirate jump, give a bony bump. Got it? Here we go. Do a pirate jump, give a bony bump. And sneak around, then stop. Prepare, beware. You got it? Let's take it from do a pirate jump. No wonder, my friend. Yeah, here we go. Do a pirate jump, give it a bunny bump, and sneak around, then stop. Prepare, beware. Follow me. First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with a stomp, stomp, patch, patch, clap, clap. Hey! First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with a stomp, stomp, patch, patch, 3, 8, hey! Well, you're not going to believe what happened next. So there they were on their ship sailing away, having fun, when all of a sudden their only fear on the sea popped into their telescopes. As they were looking out at the sea, they saw Bad Bart. Now, Bad Bart, you're thinking, what is wrong with Bad Bart? Bad Bart is the only pirate out there that likes to fight. The pirates of the Sneaky Snap, they know better than that. They don't fight. They just want to have fun. So they saw the Bad Bart. And when they were looking for the Bad Bart, they just didn't look in a regular way because they were musical pirates. They went like this, with their telescopes, with their binoculars, just with their hands sometimes, looking, of course, high, medium, low, all over the place. They looked like this, watch. But then they couldn't see anybody, so they went, can you try that? And they thought, well, we better keep on looking just in case he is out there. And they looked again. And the second time, guess what? They didn't go. They went, and they saw him, and they were very scared. And they took 4 steps back in fear. They went like this. And then common sense sort of set in. They went, why are we scared of one Bad Bart when there's so many of us to stick together like a team? And they went, whatever, Bad Bart, we're not worried about you. And they continued to look for more important things such as gold, such as treasures. And they looked. But couldn't find any, so they went, their favorite game, which was, of course, the tug-of-war. So if you happen to be on this side of the ship, you are going to take your ropes and pick them up, and we're going to pick up our ropes. Same time. Oh, you know, you guys happen to be a little stronger at the beginning, but don't worry, we're going to take over the second part. And you're going to heave us your direction, the word heave. But then on ho, you know what we do. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Here we go. Heave, ho! And then we all stop and say, 1, 2, 3, go. Are you ready? And we'll start our pirate song. Here we go. Heave, ho! 1, 2, 3, go! Come and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew, and we'll dance and sing the whole night through. Do a pirate jump, give a bony bump, and sneak around, then stop. Prepare, beware. First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with a stomp, stomp, catch, catch. Hey! First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with a stomp, stomp, catch, catch. Hey! You're not going to believe this. I got it on my iPhone. All of it. I was there. Just press record. Thank goodness, look at you. She's got it on her iPhone. Well, Johann Strauss's Persian March, and we get to do it here in Nashville. And if you hear the pirate ship of the Sneaky Sounds music, the Persian March coming on any lake, because they can go from an ocean to a lake. They're very magical. If you hear that, don't be scared. But if you want to go to the beach to join them, just leave a note. Don't go without leaving a note. Now, the Persian March is on number 17, Dale. I'm surprising you.
Ooh, 17.
So, this is with the pirates' help. Now, we're starting with the tug-of-war. The tug-of-war happens 2 times, and it's pretty fast. So you have to be very fast pirates. You have to all be in pirate mode. Feel free to growl. Feel free to say you're a pirate, stuff, whatever you like. And this piece is a really easy one to add props to, because every kid that I know has a pirate patch or a bandana that they can pull up from their playroom somewhere. See? So, get ready. We do a tug-of-war at the beginning, tug-of-war in the middle. Are you ready? And it's very fast. 17 with the pirate.
Heave, ho! 1, 2, 3, go! Out and sail the seas, it's fun as can be. Join our crew and we'll dance and sing the whole night through. Do a pirate jump, give a body run, and sneak around, then stop. Prepare, beware. First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with us. Hey! First we have a step, 2, 3, then another step, 2, 3, with us. Hey! Do 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 do.
this one again. I just sort of threw this one out there at you. So afterwards, like all my other ones, who needs to go to the gym today anyways? Right? Yeah. In all of the pieces, what we have is the composer images at the back. And I love, after the children have related to the music, sang, danced, played it out, I love talking about the composers at the very end. And that's after the map, but I hit these first. So they all have very interesting lives, as you know. But I think that they really connect with the composers once they know one of their pieces. So when they know that the Persian March was by Johann Strauss, and that's the great pilot, they're that much more interested. And at the very end, they always talk about composers, and you can give a picture of the composer to the children, they color, they take it home, and they feel connected. So, and I also, of course, at the very end, I've got the music for you so that you can follow along. But of course, there's the maps. And I'm old-fashioned, you guys you can put them up on the screen and scan them, and I don't have them on the DVD.
And photocopy them for free.
Yes, everything is free.
Free! It's an amazing concept.
So they're yours to give to the kids, right? So the composers and the maps. And at the very end, I always seal it with the map. Because those visual learners, they need to see how that music is laid out. And interestingly enough, and this was unbeknownst to me, was that children that are autistic really respond well to the music maps because they see the patterns way before we do. And I have a story from Toronto, and that was that a piano teacher was teaching a group lesson, and there were two twins in her group that were both autistic. And the mother was driving home. It was Thanksgiving weekend. She's driving home, and after a half-an-hour drive of listening to her kids sing the song over and over and over again, she actually turned around, went back to the music teacher, and said, "I need that CD. And I don't care if it's taking it out of your copy, I'm not going home without it." Took the CD, and the kids had their maps, and they did that all weekend long. And the mother could not believe this. And it was interesting, and I never thought of it that way, but it's all patterning, right? Like, all of the music, and that's why it works, is because it's section A, it's section B, section C, and then once the kids do enough of the little patterns, and these are just simple little lines and dots that go with the music that I created, but, I mean, anybody can do that, and the kids start bringing the maps to you. And they will honestly bring music to you and say, like, I've had kids that have said, "Madame Zolkowski, you have got to listen to this Mozart piece because I'm positive that there are dinosaurs in this piece." And I'm like, okay, let's go, let's listen. And then as a class, we've created. But I mean, it just completely changes their perspective on it. And it makes them so excited because they don't just let it just zip over their head. They actually sit there and go, oh, yeah, I hear that, right? Or if it's one that you've done with the kids, then do you think that in the elevator that it's just going to zip past their head? Oh no, they will all of a sudden become that pirate. And I've had story after story in restaurants, and like them getting mocked, and the kids just jump to life, and it's really cool the way they're connecting. Now, the bad part of that is that every time they hear the Persian March, do they jump as a pirate? Yeah, they jump. Is that bad? Well, good and bad. Bad because maybe was it written about pirates? No, not really. It's just a silly, fun story. However, if they wouldn't have connected with that music, it would have gone right past them. And they would have never felt that trigger, that, you know what I mean? That connection. And that's really what it's all about, is igniting that spark that connects them to the music. So this is a piece that, once again, I've done with my 4-year-olds, and this was actually the one that we did with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. And we did this one with grade 6s on stage. And so it doesn't matter, it's all in how you tell the story and how you approach it. So does it matter that you have word for word? No, it doesn't matter. Does it matter that you have the basic story made up into your own little story and delivered in your own way because you're much different, than everybody has their own way of teaching and their own style? That's what's important, is that you own the story and that you take it up there and you are convinced with the kids. And they'll sit there at the edge of their seat, and even older ones, will look at you and I always have this at the end of the class, Is that true, Madame Zolkowski? And I mean, honestly, grade 5 and 6, and I swear to you, half of them still believe I have a magic forest in the back of my house. Because since they were little, they talked about the magic forest and where all these guys came from. And they'll walk up and they'll go, I wonder. And they're older, and you know what? I love that part of it because kids grow up too quick. And they're not allowed to be a kid anymore. They're expected to do all these grown-up things when they're in grade 5 and grade 6, and you know what? They're kids. So when we can have them and give them that little bit of more imaginary fun and let their imaginations go wild on them and let them be creative, like wow, like what a position to be in, to be working with all these little ones that we can do that to. And age is not a factor. So that's my favorite part of the whole thing. And they just listen with ears. So, my next one, it's not as active, you don't have to worry, the Persian March is a bit out there. I am going to let you remain on the floor for a moment, because believe it or not, you're going to be taken from a beach all the way to Charlie and the Chick's farm. And this is Charlie, and she was quite an amazing little chick, as you can see. She lived on a farm, and she had this great mom and dad, who I'll show you, they're in the book actually, they're quite famous. And I'm sure you're all quite aware of how the chick's life cycle works, and of course in school they study this, and kids love this, especially little ones. But I love this book because, believe it or not, chick books are hard to find. And, well, some guys think they're not that hard to find. These aren't. So, this is, I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to show you the basics of this book and why I like it. So there's the egg. Beautiful egg it is. There's mama hen, and there's Papa Rooster, and there's her insides. Just enough detail, not too much. They're adoringly looking at each other, and the next thing you know, voila, she's sitting on her eggs. And she's loving every moment of that. And it shows you a little bit of detail about the inside of an egg, which is also always a little bit interesting. My girls who ate, they call these dipping eggs, didn't like the dipping eggs for a while after the story. And there's Mama checking her eggs. And then it shows the development of the egg, which is really neat for the little ones. And it talks about day 3, day 1, 3. Oh, there's Mama, she's getting tired. And when she gets exhausted, she goes for a drink to the local pond, which is close by. She can't dehydrate her. She doesn't. There's day 7, day 10, and look at that development already on day 10. Because as you know, the life cycle of a chick is only 21 days. And look at, there we go, there's day 11, day 14. Look at how quickly that chick has grown. Could you imagine if you happen to be an egg on a farm in heat like today? Holy smokes, what is it, 109 degrees? There we go, day 20. Imagine day 20, locked up in your eggshell and just dying to get out. You're just so tired of being scrunched up. You're wet because you're perspiring in your eggshell. And you're crunched, no deodorant, it's not good. I am going to get you to imagine that you are in your eggshell right now, just like Charlie was before she got out. And when you are in your eggshell, I am going to get you, just so that I know where your eggshell is, I want you to get out your, let's say your eggshell white paint. Do you guys have Benjamin Moore in the U.S.? There you go. Eggshell white is a great color. Can you take up your magic paintbrush, please? And all I want you to do is paint the inside of your eggshell when it's crunched up. So it's day 21, so it's really small. And paint all over so we can see where it is. High and low, all over the place. And then very carefully put your paintbrush back, put the lid back on, and then I want you just to check to make sure that it is dry. So pat all the inside of your shell so that you know. And when you think it's dry, you can stop patting, relax, and think about day 21. You've been trapped for 21 days. You're so dehydrated. Your muscles are just crunched to the limit and you are dying to get out. And when I was at the farm, when I listened on day 21, this is what I heard. It sounded like this. Listen. Now, could you imagine what part of your little chick body you might have been using? And you could use any part to try to show me how that might have looked? Here you go. Oh, and I saw some legs, and I saw some elbows. Oh, that was good. Now, I'm going to get you to listen again, and when you hear me do a little break, just raise your hand. Just listen. Perfect. Guess what the chickies were doing in that break? They were exhausted and gasping for air. And when you think the chickies were thrusting against their shell like that, trying to get out, they might have been saying, no. That isn't good about dogs. That's cute. What did you say? You don't know. I'll tell you later. Okay, so when they were trying to get out, they were saying,
Get me out.
get me out or let me out. And they were gasping for air. So using your chicky muscles, whether it's your elbow, your leg, your hand, you are going to thrust with all your might against the shell. Be prepared to gasp when you need to. Here, and you can say your chicky words. Here we go. Let me out. Let me out. Perfect. Well, the chickies couldn't get out after 2 times of let me out. So you know what they did? They took something very sharp, their chicky claws, and they did something that sounded like this. They took their claws, and from the bottom of their shell, they scratched all the way up to the top, and they said, icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. Here we go. Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. And then they went back to you know what? Let me out. Let me out. Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. And when they couldn't get out, they used the very hardest part of their shell, which was, or their body, sorry, their shell, their beak, and they started to peck. And they pecked. And when they thought it was ready, they used their muscles and tried to push up the top of their shells with one giant push. Are you ready? They went. And they couldn't believe their shell didn't budge. All that work and nothing happened. Do you think Charlie and the chicks were quitters? No way. They thought, we're going to take it from the top one more time. And that's what they did. Are you ready? Let me out. Here we go. Let me out. Let me out. Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. Let me out.
Let me out. Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. Tut, 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 tut.
Ready to brush. And miraculously, the second time, the top popped right off in a perfect cut. Perfect. Popped off, the chickies got out of their eggshells. Get out of your eggshells. They stretched because, oh man, it was cramped in there. So they stretched and they just saw the light of day for the first time ever. And they were so happy to be out that they did the happy dance. And they did the happy dance, sort of looked like this. Watch, they went la 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 la. Can you do that? Ready, go. La 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 la. Oh, we're not taking la la la. And they were so happy they did that again.
Nobody's gonna see it.
And then they realized their mama and papa missed the whole event. They were at the pond again. So Charlie and the chicks went, they said, where is my mama? Where is my papa? Where is my mama? My papa? Oh, there. Are you ready?
Where is my mama? Where is my papa? Where is my mama? My papa? Oh, there.
And then they said, quickly, oh quickly, get back to your eggshells. Quickly, oh quickly. They'll love that surprise. Because these chicks were brilliant. They knew when the top popped off
papa?
Where is my mama?
My papa?
Oh, there! Quickly, oh, quickly, get back to your eggshells. Quickly, oh, quickly. They'll love that surprise. And then you know what they did? Let me out! Let me out! Icky, sticky, I'm feeling icky, sticky. Let me out! Let me out! Icky, sticky, I am feeling icky, sticky. And they jumped up and the lid popped off. And they went, ta-da! Oh, they did it. Well, you're not going to believe this, but their favorite composer was not Mozart. Their favorite composer was not Johann Strauss. It was another guy that started with an M. It was a Russian composer. Yes! Brilliant. Mussorgsky. So, I happen to have captured it all because I was there. You know me, I was at the ocean, and I went from the ocean to the farm on my iPhone. I got the real music. And Dale, it is on the red CD, and it is #7, and I think you saw. Yes, pictures of the exhibition ballet of the unhatched chicks. Their favorite music ever. No, wait, because before we start, this is what we need to do. You're going to start in your eggshells. So we have to start low. So you're going to be low in your eggshells, and I am, let's see if I brought this. I have it somewhere, Jesse. I have a bag of, and I picture it in another suitcase, a bag of feathers. I don't see them around. So feathers, perfect to get at the craft store, 1,000,000 of them, and each of the kids gets their own magic feather. And they get to take their magic feather home. And they're all colorful feathers. So, you have to imagine that right now, because there's somewhere hiding on us. Just wait, this is it. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, it was in this.
Oh, Mark, come here.
Yes, there we go. So you all get your own magic feather. Yes, they're with the sponges because the chicks and King Lou weren't very close. And King
Ooh,
Lou,
I love King Lou.
King Lou, Robin likes King Lou. So there, and look at how colorful they are. So we are going to do this to the happy dance. Now, sadly, while just before the chicks were ready to go, you're not going to believe what happened. The chicks actually, Charlie, that was carrying, she was very clean. She was a little bit OCD, cleaning up the whole farm. And she tripped with her basket of eggshells. She went flying, and all the shells flew out and got all messed up. And I saw this, so I quickly ran out and tried to help Charlie. And I could not remember what order the eggshells went in for section 8. Honestly, I just tried and I could not remember. So I need your help. And I put the eggshells right up here, and that's for section 8 only. But I just need a little bit of help deciding what order to put them in. So if you could be so kind to remember what the first part of the music sounded like. Now I know when we were in the shell, we were doing something, what was it again? It was let me out. Oh, look at that. She found it already. Melanie? No, you found it. She knew. Melanie, would you mind conducting that one? And we'll just check it out to make sure it's right. Okay? You get to tap here with the feather. Oh, look at that. Here she goes. Look at that. She did the repeat sign. She had the quarter rest and all the quarter she had. That was definitely it. Melanie, would you mind taking that eggshell and you get to play that part? You can put that eggshell on your tummy and you get to play that part. You get to find any instrument that you think you could play that pattern to. Okay. Now while Melanie does that, what was the next part that we did? Yes, no, wait, put that go. Definitely faster than the let me out part. Does anybody see where that could be? There we go. Would you mind just conducting that? Let's see if it's right. Here we go. Icky, sticky, I am feeling icky, sticky. Oh, definitely right. Can you please take that, put it on your tummy, and play it right? So, Melanie, I'm going to get you to stand up, and you get to be right here. So let me out, icky, sticky, I am feeling icky, sticky. And then we went back to, what part did we do again? Do you see it in here? Yes, she can conduct. Are you ready? Here we go. Perfect. Okay, you get to take that next part. And
That's the wrong one. I'm just kidding.
There we go. And then we went back to another part that sounded a little bit faster. Can anybody see that icky sticky part? Where could it be? Would you mind taking it? Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. Let's see, you get to conduct it. Here we go. Icky sticky, I am feeling icky sticky. Perfect. You get to take it. Find an instrument and then you have to stand right next to Louise. And right after that we had the famous part with the pecking part, which had staccato. Mark, I've seen.
Find it, Marcy.
Mark, there we go. Thank you. Ready? Perfect. And then the last one was, of course, the great big push. Oh, and of course, ladies, as you know, it doesn't ever happen in one push. So after the first push, you know, we have to start all over again. So, the push. Would you mind grabbing the push? And let's see if we can do that. You can conduct it. Push. With 4 heartbeats. Thank you very much. So something very long sounding. Now, section B. La, la, la. Was sort of smooth and very legato sounding until we got to the part which went, where is my mom? Where is my papa? Which was a little more accented. I'm going to get 2 volunteers on, ladies, on the maracas. Would you mind doing the happy dance to the maracas? And when it gets to the accent part of where is my mama, where is my papa, play with accents, please. 1, 2, and you might have to share. Oh, there's one more over there. Okay. You guys are very lucky because you get to do the entire dance with me. They are going to play, we are going to dance, and we're putting the entire thing together. We get to do part A, part B, and back to A. Now, who remembers how we did, or how many times part A is up here? Do you remember? You know what? I'm going to let you think about that when we do these, because I've got it on my iPhone. I'm going to play it with the real words, Charlie and the Chicks, and we're going to do the whole thing, and that's going to be the special question I'm going to ask you. Think about how many times part A was. Are you ready? Get into your eggshells. Can you do this? Here we go. It is fast. very important in all of the pieces that we do is that the kids are actually in the order, that they occur in the music, because otherwise they're lost. And you guys are equally as important as these guys, because they're really responding to you, to your conducting fingers that are out, because if they get lost, they're counting on you to know where you're at. So I always tell the group that, because that's really important to them, and they need to know that. So if they're over there, then they're like, oh, there, thank goodness they're pointing to me, it's my turn, yes, whoa, whoa. So, and then of course they do the switch, and then at the end, once again, you've got the pictures of Mussorgsky. You've got the music maps, which I just make mine 11 or 17 kids sit in front of me. We put on the orchestral music, because the orchestral music is what you want to focus on. The one with the lyrics, I honestly use it maybe twice. The kids have lots of fun with it, and they love hearing all those fun sounds. However, once they hear it twice, it's all there. They don't even need it more than that. And they've got all those little special sound effects happening in their head, and this way they're really focusing on that beautiful orchestral music, which is what you want them to focus on. So this was a really fun one, and the little ones, usually primary, like the preschools and the grade 1s and kindergartens, they even have a lot of them have incubators in their classes, and they all study the life cycle of the chicks. And so this is a really fun one that you can do in the spring with the kids, and the kids do relate to it because a lot of them have those little chickies there. And also you can dress up the kids, you can ask them if they can wear yellow or white, and they can come on a special day.
This would be cute to do for Easter parties.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a lot of the
So-
kids have Easter parties or
Yeah.
Easter egg hunt parties, and you could do this
or the
there.
spring show, right?
Yeah.
A lot of teachers will get the kids together for a spring tea or something, so the kids and the parents get to meet each other. Or you do, like I was telling Robin, we do enrichment classes. So just for a fun thing, you get the kids together and you do 2 or 3 pieces.
You've
with
done
them.
birthday parties. So
Yeah.
if they had a farm-themed birthday party,
Yeah. Well, we actually have, we do fun with those birthday parties, but we've got the camps and all that stuff. So easy to incorporate within your program. And all it does is it enriches, and it takes it that one step more where they're becoming it. They're not playing it or listening to it, they are it, right? And so when they're kinesthetically moving around and they are the chick, they won't forget about that, and they will do it, and they will actually listen with new ears and new eyes and have fun doing it. So it just takes it that one step further. So I'm going to ask you you can quickly put your instruments right there. Just down, you can take your eggshells off. And you can you can actually just put them down. You know what, actually, if you would be so kind to take off the tape, because that always messes my suitcase up, to make it all stuck together. And I'm going to show you can just take a seat over here. I'm not going to make you do this, but I just want to show you how the older kids react to some of them. And I'm just going to put it on here. I don't think I'm going to bother hooking it up to the projector right now. But I just want to give you a peek at what happens with the older ones, because we didn't do, I was going to do Rondo a Turco with you.
Oh.
But I'm going to show you, it's a very ribbon-oriented one. Let me see your reaction. Mark, do you want to do Rondella? You know what, I'm going to show you. So this is the story, and you get to just relax and see it, because I know you're all tired. This is the story of King Luke. So King Luke,
this is the one that I've done.
that you've done with your kids.
Yes, this is the one that I did a parents' night out.
Yeah.
So I let my parents drop their kids off, and I had some of my teenage kids volunteer to just assist. And it was the parents loved it. They've been asking when another parent night out would be. It was just, I did it free, but you could charge for it, you know. And it was about 2.5 hours on like a Saturday night. They got to go on a date or whatever. And I had, let's see, my youngest was 4, my oldest was 12, and then I had the teenage helpers. So I did this with 4 to 12-year-olds.
Yeah, so you can really mix up the ages. And in testament to the various age groups, I did it one day with grade 6s, and I had a back-to-back with kindergartens that came in next. And I was just curious as to if the little ones could do it right after. Like, I just wanted to say it every time with the little ones. And so the hardest part that you're going to see in this right away, if you get it going, goes like this. Well, I thought little ones can't do that. So then I just adapted that, and I went, and the story is all about famous King Lou, who loved to sing and dance to music. All he wanted to do was have fun, relax, and sing and dance, and he didn't care about any of the rules and the logistics of running a kingdom. And so some people in the kingdom did not like him at all. And some people loved him because he threw great parties. Well, he lived in his palace where he had a maid and butler that knew him from a young boy. And they treated him like a son. His own parents mysteriously disappeared one day. So he was raised by the butlers and the maids. Well, this castle was huge. There were 600 rooms in it. And one day, right before a big gala, and he was practicing to his favorite composer, Mozart, he disappeared. And nobody could figure out where he went. And the maids and butlers searched everywhere. We looked through all 600 rooms in the palace, and the strangest thing happened. When I got off my plane yesterday from Chicago, got off the plane, and guess what I saw? Right in the airport, a reward sign, searching for King Lou, right here in Nashville. So he actually might be here somewhere. So if you see him, please let me know. Contact me, funwithcomposers.com. Let me know, because we're still looking for him. So, in saying this, which is not coming up, and I'm going to put it up in a minute, this is an interesting story, which brings to mind. I did this as an author's day, because all of these pieces are rotated around a story. Well, I was in Calgary, Alberta, and a grade 6 boy who had never, ever written more than a paragraph. I worked with his classroom, and we did Rondo alla Turca. And the children then, their job was to go back to the room, and they were supposed to write what happened to King Lou. Because in the story, nobody knows what happened. Some people thought that the pirates of the Sneaky Sound came and kidnapped him and took him out to sea. Other people thought that maybe he got lost in one of the 600 rooms. Nobody really knew. Well, Matthew wrote a whole page about King Lou. And I was leaving the school, and his learning assistant, came running down the hallway crying with this letter, with a Xerox copy of it, and said, I want you to have this, because this is the first time in his life that this child has ever written more than a paragraph. And they couldn't stop him from writing. And I thought, wow, that was a story. And I just got tears to my eyes, because I thought, what an effect this classical music has had on a child. I think it's just so neat. So anyway, it's really, really cool. So it's amazing what children, how inspired they can be years later from this gorgeous music.
While you're pulling that up, if you want me to kind of fill in.
Yeah, I love that.
I wanted Deborah to come because there's a lot of possibilities that you guys can do with these. She's taught you guys 3 songs, like in an hour.
That's right.
And there's a lot of options. You can add this on 10 minutes at the end of your class. Just kind of a composer enrichment kind of thing. You're only teaching one little part of the shell, the next little part of the shell. So that you're just teaching maybe 1 song every 6 weeks, something like that. You can do this. I like this to do for summer camps because I felt like the Simply Music Workshop series, if you wanted to do like a week-long camp, you can't teach Dreams Come True one day and Night Storm the next day. They don't have enough time to learn the song. So if I wanted to do a 1-week music camp, this allowed for that opportunity. And then at the end, you do a recital for your parents, and you have your kids perform all of these at the end of the camp week. As she said, you can do, they have a program through Fun with Composers to do birthday parties. Mark and I were just talking, one of the issues that I had as a small business owner was I never wanted to take vacation, or if I did take vacation, how do I make my parents keep paying me so that I don't lose a week of income? And so I have started doing these activities. The week that I did the Parents' Night Out, that next week, it was a free event to my parents, but that next week I took the week off, okay? And so if you're going to have like a vacation, it's kind of a field trip day or something like that, I'll do those things like a day or so before I take a week off. If I take a week off for planning, before the summer, I'll kind of just do an afternoon of this. If they can make it, they make it. If not, they don't, kind of thing. But the parents and the kids have really loved it. And I think that there's all, like she showed, there's storybooks that go with it. You can color. You can take one song and make it into an hour and a half lesson. lesson, or you can take that song and take an hour lesson for a whole month with 5-year-olds. With the soup, there's a nutritional value. You could talk about good nutritional things that you put in the soup. You could do a whole lesson on that, you know. So you could do a whole lesson on just talking about the composer. So it allows for you to just do 10-minute segments, month-long segments,
Or you can even do
week-long, you know,
once a
whatever.
month,
It
like
just
whatever
allows you
works.
to adapt it. And then she also has a great program in that there is supplements for the kids to purchase, but it is not required. So if they want to take a CD, DVD kind of thing home, and then she offers that to us at a discounted price, so that it's then giving you the opportunity to kind of invest some of that money back into your studio to buy your little instruments and things like that.
You know, I go to the dollar store.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I
really
really keep
simple
doing.
things, right? So it's the wooden spoons, 4 for $1. So you have a
The
set of
sponges,
spoons. The
yeah.
sponges, I take one sponge like that. You can get, 12 of them for $1, and I cut them in half. There's my 24 sponges, right? So for 50 cents, you cover for $1, or you've got 24 sponges. The wooden spoons, the sponges, the feathers. These puppets, these timeless treasures puppets, they were Chef Figaro and the pirate, I don't know where he went. They're $12 each, right? You've got pirate stuff that you get, and I always pick up stuff like that after Halloween. The kids have a gazillion things that they can do or bring in for you. Little bugs from the dollar store, stuff like that. We've got 5 children's books because we try to promote literacy whenever we can, right? So we have 5 children's books written into each of the lessons that you can start your lessons with, so that you go to the library. You don't have to buy them. You go to the library and you borrow 2 of the books just to stimulate their imagination, so they see what different pirate ships look like. They see different images, so that when you start telling the story, they're there already, right?
One other thing, several of us teach retirees. Deborah was telling me last night that she's interested in getting it into retirement type things also.
Because that would be, you know, huge. Like when I go over, usually 2 to 3 times a month, I'm somewhere in the United States or Canada, and it's all with adults. And, you know, the odd time I do author days, and I'm working directly with the children. And I've worked with the children for 22 years now, so I know that works. But the adults have so much fun. And over I've had people tell me, oh, you should really take this into seniors' homes and do it with seniors. And I have yet to do that because I just simply don't have the time for 3 kids. But oh my goodness, in fact, I will do it because I'm positive it'll work. So there's so many different avenues that you can go. Right now, as Robin was mentioning, we have fun with composer music camps in the summertime. And we have a curriculum written out. And you've got 60 pages of materials based on our 4 most popular songs, which are the same 4 most popular songs that we have our birthday parties based on. That's the Persian March, the pirate one that you did. Trich Trash Popo is all about the circus, which is a really, really fun one. Both of these for older kids, but you can do them with little ones. The Bug Polka, the Pizzicato Polka by Johann Strauss, and of course Chef Figaro, right? So they're very, very simple, easy ways to supplement. And it's 20% off. It's not a ton. Everything in here is reproducible. It's all done with the best music. It's Naxos of America, licensed. So it's orchestras around the world. This is the DVD. On the DVD, which is I'm going to show you in a moment, this is the older one, because I could do an older song with you. You click on the lesson in 10 minutes, walks you through this is how you teach each section. So you don't have to sit there and try to figure it out, even though if you're a reader, it's extremely detailed in the lesson plans in the book, extremely. But if you're more visual and you don't have time and you're eating your cereal in the morning and saying, oh shoot, I should have prepped this and I didn't have time, put on that DVD, you're eating your cereal. Okay, got it. And as long as you have the basic gist of the story, you have to own that story. Please do not read it, because that's when it won't work. You need to go in there and you need to know the 4 basic points in your head, and you deliver it, because that's what it's all about. You have to captivate them with that story. And the best way to do that for yourself is watching the night before that DVD, because it walks you through. You will also see the final outcome. This is all real videotape footage. This is not kids that prepped it for 3 months. This is kids that didn't know me because I was on a mat leave, I switched schools, and I taught it cold. My husband, who is a pilot, thought, so black and white thinker, and I'm on the other end, thought I was absolutely nuts. He couldn't believe that I was taking the risk of walking in there and teaching something cold. And I that's what everybody comes across. They come across, you're going to see it, there's a poker when the kid has his hood on, and he wouldn't take his hood off because he got his haircut the day before. Right? And, you know, stuff like that. Are all kids listening perfectly? No. And you'll see me working with the kids. And I think that's a good reminder because that's the way it is, right? That's the reality of it all. And you'll see different age groups as well. So it's all real. It's in 10 minutes lesson. You will see the final outcome after one 37-minute class. This is what you get. Now I'm going to show you the one about King Lou in a moment because it's one I did with my grade 6s, and I'll show you how the grade 6, 7s respond just as you know the little ones would as well. In the books you get a DVD which has both. You get a CD which has lyrics, and then you take the lyrics off so it's just the orchestral music because that's what we want you to focus on. You get learning rubrics, so just to give you an idea of how to evaluate. You've got 3 art activities because in the music camps you can do art activities, and it's all of that, games, everything. You've got symphony orchestra unit so that you're listening to the different symphony instruments with the questions so that it goes into the concepts. You've also got all the activity pages, which you can blow up, Xerox, all the composers. You don't have to edit the stories, you can actually read them. They're all there. And then step by step, the lesson plan. Every lesson plan has a music map for you, for the kids, all reproducible. That's for you. If you have orff instruments, you can take it onto barred instruments, or you can use percussion instruments in every single piece. And then step by step, you've got your goals, your concepts, your recommended children's books, your standards. This book even has a half-hour, and I don't even know if I told Ron this, a movement segment on it by Susie Green, who is a world-renowned movement specialist. Do you know Susie? She's amazing. I'm sure you've heard of her. She actually, believe it or not, lives, here she is, she lives about a 20-minute walk from my house.
Wow.
I know. And I took a course with her, and I was hooked. Oh my goodness. She taught me the Le Bon movement efforts, which you did, unbeknownst to you, in the Charlie and the Chicks. And it is 8 simple movement words, which are dabbing, thrusting, flicking, all these simple 8 words, which every movement actually is derived from one of those 8 words. It's a movement toolbox. And she walks you through in the half-hour segment how to work with these Le Bon movement efforts by Rudolph Le Bon, who used to work in England, who's a dancer. And she shows you how to use them with kids. She shows you how to do creative movement with the kids. And it's all incorporated into the materials. And I didn't have time to go through that section with you, but it is very valuable. We have also Liz Swenson, who did all the art activities. She's from a fine arts school in Vancouver. She's amazing. She's on the DVD, and she shows you how to do the activities. And then we have Sue Harvey, who has written the orchestrations for it. So I worked with a whole team of great, great people. And it's all here for you. I went to Kids Books Vancouver, who is a very, very well-known bookstore. They spent 2 months looking for the 5 best books for each theme. So it's all there for you. You don't have to figure it out. Now here are the older kids. This is Rondo Alaturka. I hope this is big enough. I probably should have put on there.
Deborah.
Yeah?
I know you're on a time span. I hate to
I
be
am.
a bad egg. Pardon the pun.
I will. I'll go very quickly.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Is it very long?
It's not.
Okay.
It's like I'll show you 1 minute of it. I just want to show how the older kids we are. There we go. There.
Oh, yeah.
Boys, girls, doesn't matter, girl. So it's, you know, the kids are doing their own movement. It's simple, it's easy, but the main thing is they're listening. And the feathers and scratches cost $2. So that gives you an idea. I don't even know what it's like. There we go. As you can see, it's very. So that's an example. Those are grade 6. And that was in one 37-minute class. And I did the same thing back to back with kids. So the age doesn't matter. And like, I think, Robert, were you saying you had 4-year-olds and 12-year-olds working in the
Yes.
same group? Like, honestly, the kids work together. It's
They help
classical
each other,
music.
yeah.
They do help each other. And there's a lot of teamwork. So it's a lot of social interaction stuff, which there isn't enough of now. Right? It's also isolated, and what drives me crazy as a music teacher are all those poor little honeys that come in the room and they're so used to doing all of those computer games and that you have to get them out of that and let them, you know, expand their imaginations and get them out and working with each other and working as a team and being creative, because boy, oh boy, there's not enough out there. And somebody, we were talking yesterday about how they're looking for kids now that are, or this morning, that are creating and improvising. Not the kid, and the ones that have the music background, because they know how to think out of the box, they know how to be creative, they know how to, right? Like, whereas other kids don't. And the teamwork that's involved in every single piece is just, you know, you can't beat that. And that's only us as music teachers can give that to our kids. And I always think, geez, we're so lucky to be in that position to do that. So, anyways, I hope that you'll be able to take some of these ideas back with your students. I hope that it will help you make your lessons more fun, more exciting, and give you a new perspective on classical music. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me, or you can try phone, but I'm not very good at the phone. Never quite get there. We've got 3 different books. They're teacher guides. I've got kids CDs and just for kids books for the volume 1 that are at home, that we do supplement for camps and whatnot. This is the pre-K to grade 6 or grade 3, which I've done all the way up to grade 6. This is the one with the movement in it, the extra movement. This is pre-K to grade 3, volume 1. So this is the Chef Figaro one piece that I was hoping to get to, but I didn't, was the Snobby Pear one, which is oh so funny. That's the Snobby Pear from the Royal Garden, and he was good. Anyway, it's another story. And this is the grade 3 to 7 one. The Persian March was in here, Rondo a la Turcan. It's full of sass and attitude. So you've got pieces like habanero and whatnot that you don't want to do with your little ones, because it goes something like, there you stand tall and look at me. You seem not interested, we shall see. I'll toss my hair and I'll swing my skirt. I'll steal your heart and grab you by the shirt. Not the grade 6s and 7s, right? That age group, love that.
We're going to do this Saturday night.
It's awesome. But it's very true to its age. It's got stuff like fossils, which is listen to the bones, listen to the bones, listen to the sound of rattling bones. And how all harder, more challenging fun. Anyway, we've got 3 different guides. They're 20% off. I brought, this is what's left. And if you're interested, please feel free to come up. You can go on our website. We've got birthday parties, the music camps. The music camps aren't on our website, so you need to email me about them. I'll give you all the information about that. And if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate the opportunity to get to know you.